What's up, chat? It's Wednesday. We're getting wacky because Games Workshop just dropped us like a bizarre update. If we take a peek over, I believe this was entirely unannounced. I guess we'll verify. Oh, good. My phone all the way over there is ringing. So that is just going to happen in the background for a little while. I believe that this is entirely... just entirely unannounced. They didn't talk about this at all. There's no articles about it. Nothing's going on. But we got three new document updates on the Warhammer community downloads page. One of them is the Eldari Legends, which I think I have no idea what was in this document to begin with. It has the webway gate in it now, which I think is new, but I don't really know that for sure. Which is neat. I don't know. That guy's pretty cool. There's also, I think they brought this Death Core of Krieg datasheet up to date with the codex. I don't fucking remember. I don't know what's going on with that. But the other one is that Index Chaos Demons got a random stealth drop. Yeah. Out of fucking nowhere, dude. If we look, and I have this open twice. I don't need it open that many times. If we look at our page count compared to the original document page count, it turns out, I don't know if it's actually on my screen. It is. Oh, it's not quite. All right. Well, anyway, it's 6 more pages, which means 3 data sheets got added into the index, which is kind of cool. And what they've done is they've actually re-added a bunch of old data sheets. I don't know. I know at least one of them I'm very excited about. I don't 100% know how big of an impact it's going to be with the other ones. So I'll guess rip the Band-Aid off real quick. The first one is the Slanesh, the big chariot kit. Seeker chariots are still gone. I believe they don't exist anymore. But we now have the Tormentbringer on the Hellflayer, and we have the Hellflayer itself back. These were occasionally sort of like saw some play because they were relatively cheap and super fast. The problem is that they have a huge base and they're mounted, so they have a tough time like actually sort of getting to places. The classic Chaos Demons problem. And they're mostly like infantry sweepers, which isn't really what demons have trouble with. Turns out when all of your greater demons can sweep for like 1 trillion attacks, you don't really need like dedicated anti-infantry melee attackers, but I don't know. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull up the original Hellflayer data sheets, which I believe that I have in my archive here. Is that the case? Oh, maybe I don't. Did I not save them, chats? Uh-oh. Let's see. I just want to see if there are any changes. Yes, demons. I should have the original index saved, so we can compare and contrast if they have gotten any statistical improvements. I do. Cool. Yep. So let's grab. So this is the original Chaos Demons Index. The Exalted Seeker Chariot. Excuse me, chats. That's what it's called. Oh, it's cropped. It's okay. So the original Tormentbringer, it looks like had an inferior ranged attack. Its ranged attack has improved its AP and damage. It's now AP 1-2 damage instead of Strength 4 AP 0-1 damage. And it has an additional melee attack. Is that right? It has 2 extra attack melee attacks instead of simply attacking with claws and tongues. So it attacks with its lash in melee, which is exactly the same as its range profile. Strength 6 AP 1-2 damage. And then also it attacks with the Seekers, which are 8 attacks and strength 4 lethal, which looks like previously they had half as many attacks. Jesus. This thing is like wildly improved. And then it also has the slash and claws attacks that are strength 4 AP1 devastating. It now has less claw attacks, but it gains the lash attack, which is probably, I don't know. Devastating wounds is pretty good, but it's a 2 damage weapon, so like it's like a side grade probably. I don't know. It still gives sustained hits, and it looks like its hysterical frenzy has improved. Instrument model in this model's unit is destroyed. Does it join? Oh, it joins Hellflayers. So instead of being an aura, an independent unit with an aura, now it gives its unit fight on death. Interestingly, I don't know if this matters, but it doesn't specify that they have to be destroyed in the fight phase. I assume that it can't fight in the shooting phase, but I'm not 100% sure if that's the case. Folks, that'd be cool. Hold up. Is there a rules cutout for that? Hey, Natty the Panda. Yeah. I thought that was a really good discussion that we had on stream the other day. So I was kind of like looking for more stuff to post this week because I'm basically like 2 days short because I'm going to spend a day traveling and then setting up for ATC Florida. So I wanted to put some stuff out, and I was like, hey, well, I might as well just like cut that video up. I cut that little clip up. I guess if we go to the rules commentary, there is an entry for fight on death, so I don't know if this is governed by that. Rules commentary, fight on death. Fight on death. Some rules enable models to fight after they've been destroyed. Following the normal fight sequence, when doing so, models may pile in, make melee attacks, like distinguished weapons. Models with effects may only fight after more than one such roll. It doesn't matter. They are always resolved before the attacking unit consolidates. Does this not specify that they have to do it in the fight phase? Do other fight on death specify fight phase? I guess I haven't. Actually, I have no idea. What is a fight on death? Like Wolfen? Wolfen say destroyed by a melee attack. Weird, chat. So if you're within 4 inches of a Tormentbringer's unit and you shoot them and they die, it's also a model in the Tormentbringer's unit. It's not while it's leading a unit, so it can affect the Hellflayers and it can affect the Tormentbringer itself. And it's an automatic fight on death. It's super bizarre. Now, the Hellflayers, I believe, have a charge bonus, so they're better at doing it when they're in melee or when they're shooting. But you could like randomly clip like utility units. If you're in the middle of an objective, they shoot you to death. They've like moved up to contest the objective with the utility unit. You can just kill it. That's fucking wild. You'll be like, I'll pile in, I guess. I don't know. Fuck you. That's bizarre. Bizarre. And then also, all of these weapons will automatically have sustained hits because that ability is still an aura. Wild. Imagine having to move 2 Hellflayers and a Tormentbringer across the table. I know. I mean, at least we have Phantasmal Logging, right? So, like, if you play this in Legion of Excess, it's actually not that bad. That might be the place where we put this. All right, Hellflayers is the next one. So taking a peek at their original data sheet. To find where it was. Hellflayer. Original data sheet. So previously they did impact attack, so it's a whole new datasheet ability entirely. They used to have a strength 6 CP 2 damage melee attack. They lost that, so they actually their damage output's actually like kind of reduced a little bit on its base level. They have 8 devastating slashing claw attacks and 4 seeker tongue attacks, so less seeker attacks than the Tormentbringer. And their Lash of Torment is half as many shots. but is AP 1/2 damage. So kind of a side grade on the Hellflayer offensive profile. So it used to be that they inflicted on a 2+ D3 mortal wounds, on a 4+ 3 mortal wounds, and on a 6+ D3 plus 3 mortal wounds on the charge. Now they just get +1 strength and damage. They get the Outrider ability. But that affects models in the unit. So if you attach Tormentbringers, they will also get the benefits. So Tormentbringer goes to having Oh, did I misread the Secret Tongue attack? Sorry, chat. Am I a goober? It's only 4 attacks, not 8. I think I misread it. Oh, great, PDF. Thank you for being really slow. Oh, it used to be 8. Oh, so they've actually lost quite a few attacks, actually. All right. So their Seekers are worse. Their Claws are worse, but they have a little 2 damage attack now. And their Whip is better? I don't know. It's interesting. Huh. Although they didn't lead units before, so I don't know. It's like different. So these guys will have 4 lethal hit, 2 damage, or strength 5, 2 damage, 6 strength 5 AP 1 3 damage, and 8 strength 4 AP 1 2 damage devastating on the charge. And that's actually kind of scary. Plus, even if it's just a single Hellflayer, because you can take between 1 and 2, you can you get another 3 damage attacks and 12 2 damage attacks. This is a lot of medium infantry sweeping. It's all like strength 5, which is the awkward part, but it's sustained hits. Wild. I guess the downside is that the Hellflayer dies like instantly. It is 7 wounds. It's a 5+ invuln save, 7 wounds, like no armor, basically. It could get a cover save sometimes. Yeah, I hope these things are not too expensive because they are paper. Now I actually don't know if we've had a Munitorum update. So I don't believe that this is that these are legal yet. So we don't actually know how many points they cost. My hope would be that the Hellflayer itself is like, I don't know, like 70 or something. And then the Tormentbringer is 100 and some odd. Being fast and a little like fairly resilient is nice. Obviously, their damage output's like kind of whatever. And the problem is that they're on a huge oval base and also are mounted. So like they have enormous problems getting to their final position, which is, I think, a real issue for them, especially if you're trying to take a unit of multiple. The sustained hits in an aura is cool, though, obviously, for demon units. And then also, like, this Fight on Death. I think having Fight on Death just as a baseline means that the Tormentbringer solo is probably the most often place that you'd see these things get played. Just like a buff bot that like hits relatively hard against infantry and can also swing on death automatically is like kind of neat. 12 wounds with 4+ invul save isn't the easiest thing to kill too. It's Warp Wednesday, indeed. MFM accompanied this. I don't see it unless the Hellflayer's in here, and I don't. Yeah, no, nothing. Not yet. Not yet. This is for only demons, yeah. Unless we see some sort of errata to Emperor's Children. These data sheets are entirely distinct from the Emperor's Children data sheets, so none of this stuff can get played in the Chaos Legions. It only gets played into Legionis Daemonica. So none of this is relevant for Emperor's Children stuff. So that is really curious. This is like, I think the Tormentbringer especially, the Hellflayer is like, instead of doing mortal wounds, it just does more damage when it charges. But the Tormentbringer on a baseline is like an entirely redesigned unit, right? So we said 140 for Tormentbringer in the app. That is a lot. You're almost at Rend Master territory there, and that guy is going to kick the shit out of this lady, unfortunately. if you're taking big chunky mounted units, that might be the one to go with. Games Workshop won't let Death Guard ally and Nurgle Demons. Like they've already implemented the new the new codex rules. They need to fucking errata the demon index ally rules. Unless they did. Maybe that was the other stealth change. That would have been there's no change notes, so I have no idea what they changed. And oh, maybe they did. Wait, hold up. Whoa. Did the entire game piece of the entire Chaos Super? So previously. Oh no, here we go. All right. Yes, they did. They did change Daemonic Pact, it looks like. If every model from your army is Chaos Ice or Heretic Astartes, you can include Legiones Daemonica. So this is also sneaking in there. There we go. Finally, it has been updated. So now none of the Traitor Legion codexes besides normal ass Chaos Space Marines can take demon units. They can only take them through their own detachments. Surprise! I'm glad we looked that up because I actually had not even grokked that at all. I had not looked at that, but this is a good way to implement that stealth update, though. This doesn't affect really anything besides those factions, right? There's no random chaos codexes that they left out, right? I don't think so. I think we're okay. I guess chaos traitor Titan legions, maybe. Get wrecked. Yeah, everyone has their own chaos detachment now for sure. Chaos Marines have more Chaos Demon options than the mono factions. Yes, right. Than the cult factions. Yeah, for sure. They have a lot more. They have a ton more. Not only do they get access to the entire index, but they also aren't restricted to the very select data sheets that the occult legions are going to get. So that is a big update. That's huge, actually. That's really big. My heart out to anybody who's rocking these factions in events before their codex comes out, because you just get like Death Guard can now no longer take Nurglings, but also don't have the option to take Chaos Demon stuff in elsewhere. Sorry, Death Guard, you're just fucked for a month, I guess. Sucks to suck, but I don't know. Stop shooting me with 9 predators and be good. Can we talk about dogs? Let's talk about dogs. So yeah, for a hot minute here, I was like, this is the greatest thing to ever happen in the history of the universe. Because I'm playing Renmasters and Shadow Legion, and Fleshhounds are amazing. And then I remember that Karanak's an epic hero, so we can't put him in his Shadow Legion chat, but he's back. The bestest boy has returned to the game. He took a little bit of time off. He had a little vacation, a little constitutional. He went for walkies, but he has finally returned into Warhammer 40,000. We can finally take Karanak again after he was entirely removed. Yeah, so let's take a peek at his original datasheet as well. This is the old one, the updated one. Here's the original one. Karanak. So previously, he gives you reroll advance and charge rolls, which is the same. His weapon profile wildly improved. So he now has a torrent. God, I wish I could take this fucking guy in Shadow Legion. He'd be so good. Reroll advance and charge on a unit that both advances and charges, and also can shoot after advancing. Amazing. But he has a D6 plus 3 shot heavy flamer, strike 5 AP1. Sick. And also he got an additional AP on his melee attack. On top of that, his brass collar now grants a feel no pain against mortal wounds, not just psychic attacks, which is previously what it used to do. In addition, he still has his Prey of the Blood God. Start of the first battle round, you select an enemy unit to be the model's prey. Previously, it gave your unit lethal hits, which basically no one gave a crap about. Now it gives you full wound rerolls, which is a little better. I'm a level chat. Karanak seems like a fucking Chad, dude. I don't know where you play him. Like maybe we're in Blood Legion. The problem is that the Khorne, like the entire Khorne super faction, has like such an insane synergy with Shadow Legion. It's crazy. Like you could not have built a more perfect detachment for Khorne units than Shadow Legion was, but you can't take this fucking guy. So I think he would be really, really, really good in Shadow Legion, and very sad that you can't take him. I think we can play him in Blood Legion. There's a 1 CP advance in charge in there. You can do, I guess, some interesting stuff with him in Demonic Incursion probably too. You get like 6-inch deep strikes, and you can also advance in charge in that detachment as well. And I think deep striking this guy, like rapid ingress play with this guy, is really, really powerful, because if you can get him into a position where he can pounce on his prey unit, he's going to be really strong. I also think that there may be, he's a 4+ invulnerable save. It's 5 wounds, T4. He's not that hard to kill. He's OC3 though, because he's got 3 heads. I get it. Is that an improvement? Did he used to have OC3? Yeah, it's actually, he used to have OC1. He's actually probably good as a solo as well. It's start of the first battle round to choose prey, so you can see where your opponent's deployed, and you can see if they're like eating utility up, and you can like prey the utility units, and it just goes and kills them, which is like kind of sweet. God, if you could play with Shadow Legion, it'd be incredible. Yeah, he'd be. I mean, he'd probably be broken in Shadow Legion, to be fair. Like permanent advance in charge, +1 to wound, +1 AP. So he's AP 3/2 damage at baseline, and then you add Run Masters on top. And you can like go crazy. He's anti-character 3 as well. Did he get weapon keywords? He used to just be precision. Now he's anti-character. Ooh, chance. I think this profile's good, man. If he's not too expensive, if he comes in at like, 70 points or 80 points or something, I actually think he's kind of baller. He doesn't have a natural up down, so he's not quite as flexible as like normal Fleshhounds, but he's probably pretty reasonable just as a little guy. If he's not like, if they don't overcost him at like 90 points or something stupid. Yeah, dude. I love this Karanak data sheet. This is this guy's sick. Super duper cool. The one problem is that epic hero keyword, I think. That's the real downside for him. Must be nice to get units back instead of losing them. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so I'm so curious about this update. Because there's for sure a story behind this. Within like Games Workshop sort of internal processes, and I want to know what it is so bad. Whether they thought that these data sheets were like too strong, whether they were having balance problems with them, with like the issues that we saw with Legion of Excess, with the Tormentbringer, and they ended up cutting that unit for that reason. Whether it was like a production side thing, I'm so curious, because like, why would you do this, right? Instead of just like changing their profile when they updated the index and being like, fuck it, we have, we're going to make them bad because we can't balance them currently right now. So we're having balance problems. Just like give them some stats or whatever and call it a day. And then updating them later, like that feels like it's a smoother process than deleting the datasheet and then rebuilding it and adding it back in secret. It's so weird. Karanak, I guess I don't. We talked about the Death Guard datasheets yesterday, but I don't know if we did the same for World Eaters datasheets. I wonder if he has a profile in World Eaters, which is why he's being added back in here. And honestly, like his top line is so solid. Just like a little deep striking like dude with a pretty good melee profile and a pretty good gun. If he's not super expensive, you might just play him by himself and like not even support him very much. If he gets good support from the demon detachment that chaos that world eaters have, I think that would be kind of cool. So maybe he's just like viable solo in there or with like 5 flesh hounds or something. I don't know, and I kind of hope he is because he's cool. Bring back Legion of the Damned and Karandras. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I do hope that it opens the avenue to add stuff back into these updates, right? Like, I would love to see just datasheet drops of like old units, and it should be like, I don't know, here it is. Like Candyman's a great example. I think it's probably has to be stuff that they make models for, right? Because of the whole chapter house fiasco, like years and years back. That's like a decade old now, but that was a whole deal, and certainly changed how Games Workshop releases units. But it would be sweet to see the I don't know, some stuff just like stuck back in there. I guess the other thing too is that I imagine that Karanak has a profile for Age of Sigmar. So like he's not going away, right? They still have the miniature. It's not like a bunch of the Warhammer exclusive stuff where it's like, oh, we've cut, our old Finecast line. Just gotta. Oh, I went to Xenos. Okay, I was like, I went to Eldar. I saw a bunch of Eldar, and then also these Barb guns. Excuse me. They cut the old Finecast stuff, and then like it's just gone, right? Because those units still exist in a different game. It's much easier for them to like add them back. I think. Oop. Music. Looking at the Emperor's Champion datasheet in Karanak. Emperor's Champion's like a fundamentally different unit, though, right? He's like a foot infantry beatstick. Karanak is faster and deep strikes. He's it's easier for Karanak to pounce on stuff. You know what I mean? Versus like a dude who's just like a move 6 idiot who's like ground pounding up the table. Like, for sure, the Emperor's Champion hits harder than Karanak. I don't think it's, like, surprising, right? He's, like, strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage. But it's a very different unit, right? This little guy who's, like, probably advancing and charging and deep, like, rapid ingressing onto you is very different. I do think that, yeah, Karanak is relatively recent. We were just looking at him. Oops. He looks like he's plastic. He's a plastic guy. You can use him in both Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar. This model's cool. He feels a little small. I feel like because they re-released him, I don't know, a couple of editions back. Because he used to be a little tiny metal model, and it feels like they could have gone like whole hog onto him, right? Where he's just like a huge, big fucking monster who's on like a huge oval base, right? Like a big knight base or something. That's kind of what I was expecting. That was definitely the vibe. But this is like the 6th and 7th edition push where they like moved everything to like single sprue plastic in the little blister, and everyone was like a little guy back then, so I bet if we saw like an 11th edition Demons Codex and we saw a new Karanak, he would be like a huge, this is an enormous thing that's the size of like a tank. Because he is like a legendary, he's like the hunting dog of a literal god. I don't know. You know, it's funny that he was like a regular dog. It's like every time a hellhound gets like portrayed in like a TV shows like Supernatural, and you're like, "Ooh, a hellhound, that must be scary," and it's like a black Labrador or something. Oh, all right, cool, man. Maybe it breathes fire. Wouldn't mind if they scaled him up, yeah, for sure. Should Chaos Space Marines pay more for Noise Marines? I don't think so. Like it's mostly the synergy with like Renegade Raiders is like problematic for Noise Marines, right? I mean, they could make them pay more for sure. Like that's definitely a possibility. But they like miss out on so many synergies, right? They don't have Dark Pacts. They can't take any character attachments for them. They don't get advance and shoot, so it's really hard to get a move 6 18-inch range unit on target realistically. Obviously, when they're in a transport, it's different because you can put them in a Rhino, but like that can help a little bit. I guess they get assault for Renegade Raiders, so actually, scratch what I'm saying. But I don't know. I'd be curious to see whether or not it's broken. I know that there's been some talk about like them bringing Dread Talons back because like they have leadership like debuffing effects, which can be like a cool synergy. The danger, I guess, would be like if they nerf them super hard, they remove all those synergies, which is interesting. Well, they already ignore cover, so you don't need that. They just have that on their data sheet. Reroll hits is good, obviously, but they have no critical keywords, right? Like, reroll hits for veterans is better on every single ranged unit in... like, every single other ranged unit in the Codex because they have critical effects, thanks to Dark Pacts. So, like, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think you play it like it lies and you see if it gets broken, and then we adjust things later. Like you can up them 15 points or something if everyone's taking them in triplicate in Chaos Space Marines. I would be fascinated to see whether or not they are. Are the boxes in the background my pile of shame? It's my pile of I'm not ashamed of it because it's awesome that I have all these miniatures, but they are full of models. Yes. I have a whole Tau army back there. Got a bunch of Space Marines. The stuff on the top... The big boxes are empty. Those are display. But the little boxes have models in them. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth trying, for sure. I think the technology's neat. And I like data sheets getting played in different capacities. I think that's cool. Anyway, chat, I think that is all I have to talk about today. 3 new datasheets for demons. Glad we caught the index, the demonic manifestation change, the demonic pact change, because I think that's very relevant. Obviously, demons get better, but they get worse for everyone else. I thought it was funny that demons were like kind of like killing it right now, right? They're like one of the top factions in the game, but also. They're like, just getting new units. But obviously, like that, I don't think that's either here nor there. There's no like rhyme or reason to stuff getting updated like that for sure. Getting Noise Marines to AP3 seems scary. Yeah, I agree. But like without sustains from the Lord Cacophonist and like with like limited access to rerolls, they're like so inconsistent. They're just like a 3-shot gun. Like I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot of situations where in Emperor's Children, like in Coterie of the Conceited, that unit goes like so hard and does like 12 damage to everything it shoots at. Like is it going to be as strong in Renegade Raiders? I don't know. I'm not sure. It's also still 18-inch range, which is obviously very short. So we'll see. Thought there was something about blue scribes. I don't believe so. We can take a look. Did their profile change? If any profiles changed, I don't know about that because I have not gone through and compared every single profile. Blue Scribes doesn't seem to be different. Looking at the original index versus this one, I think they look identical. There could be changes like buried in here that I just don't know. I can't tell. I hope there's not. I hope they don't just like constantly change data sheets. But we'll see. I don't know if I've ever read the changeling's like ability super closely. Each time an enemy unit wishes to select this model as the target of attack. What does that mean? What does wish to select mean? That's game terminology right there. What it should be is that each time an enemy unit selects this model as the target of an attack, they must take a battle shock test. If it is failed, they must select a new target for that attack. Wishes to select is so nebulous. It's incredible. Your opponent's like, should I shoot the changeling? And you're like, battle shock test. You wish to select him. Battle shock test. You considered it for a second. Like, I really want to kill that guy. Battle shock. I wish upon a changeling. What a weird wording. Everyone knows what it means, but that's very silly. I guess maybe it's so it doesn't like trigger on target like stratagems or something, but I don't know whether or not that would like matter. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, chat. Yeah, just throw stuff at the changeling. Just never wish to target it. Be like, I'm gonna target the changeling, but I really don't want to. Incredible. Anyway, all right, folks. That's all I got to talk about today. Just the one little update. I will be live over on Twitch later on this evening. We're going to be playing Hippie Hunter's insane, crazy Drukhari list. So we're going to be doing a little bit of open gaming over there. I don't know if I've played Drukhari in 10th. I don't think I have. As Drukhari. Did I play Sky Splinter when it dropped? I don't remember. But so that should be fun. I'm excited to give that a go. I don't have a concrete time on that because I have to run a bunch of errands beforehand to get prepped for the travel this weekend. But otherwise, at the end of this stream, you're going to get redirected to the ATC Florida team tournament coverage. I'm going to be live down there on Saturday and Sunday. Please go check that out. That's going to be a big undertaking. Obviously, Florida is a big old trip. So huge thanks to them, first of all, for inviting me down. But also, please come hang out with me on stream over there and show me some support because it's going to be all told it's about 6 working days worth of work, so it's going to be a lot. But I think it's going to be a fun time. Anyway, folks, I will see you all later. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep it classy, have happy wargaming, all that stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.